somebody has missed out the session, Prabhu.
Yes. Actually, I stopped it. It was recording automatically. In the beginning of the session, I stopped it. Now it is recording. Yes. Thank you, Mataji, for reminding. Okay. So the the first session of this course 3, the intricacies of Prakriti, is named as Gateway to Hell, which is little when I saw that first topic. Obviously, it should not be the first topic of the session for this course, but it is um, this particular way, the wording used, gateway to hell, is used by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. In that way, it is a transcendental topic. So I will take you through and through this session and help you to understand this topic in an interesting manner. I'll share my screen now with all of you. Yes, all of you are able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, good. Invoking the blessings of His divine grace, we'll move forward. So the context of the topic, I would like to bring out the context so that you all get connected to the topic, today's topic. So for that, I would like to ask you first that what are the 5 central topics of the Bhagavad Gita? There are, Bhagavad Gita talks about the 5 central topics, and which Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita. So the participants, those who know about it, you may please post it in the chat window about what are these 5 central topics in the Bhagavad Gita. There are 5 topics, core central topics. Entire Bhagavad Gita is about. Lord Krishna spoke about the 5 central topics. Yes, I'm seeing some responses here. For every time I'm getting some notification. How to stop this notification every. Okay. Yes, here the devotees have posted. First, Kshitij Rishi, Kala and Karma. And second, Nandakishore Prabhu, Soul, Super Soul, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. And Pallavi Mataji from Ishvara, Prakriti, Jiva, Kala and Karma. And the Chandrasekhar Vaishnav, yes, elaborately it is mentioned. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. Yes, wonderful. Yes, there are 5 topics. Most of you have mentioned accurately. The number 1 topic is Ishvara, the Supreme Lord. the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives very clear understanding of what is the Supreme Lord, who is. A person who hears Bhagavad Gita properly from the right source, at the end of the reading the Bhagavad Gita, he will understand who the Supreme Lord is. And second is the Jiva, the living entity. We are all the living entities, and the Bhagavad Gita talks about if there is a Supreme Lord and we all as an individual entities, how we are all related to him is also the subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita. And third one is Prakriti, the material nature. We see the mesmerizing, the material nature that is surrounding us, that surrounds us, and Lord Krishna very nicely explains in the Bhagavad Gita about what is this nature is all about, and who is behind this nature, and how this nature is functioning, and how we as a living entities are related with this nature, and how we are supposed to deal with this nature. This is also one of the interesting topic that Lord Krishna spoke in the Bhagavad Gita, called Prakriti, the material nature. Then the fourth one, the Kala, the eternal time. How the Kala is one of the very powerful force that is acting in this creation, and no other force can stand in front of this Kala. And how that Kala is one of the energies of the Supreme Lord, and how under that influence of the Kala, this whole jivas are functioning, how the material nature is functioning, how the Kala is under the supreme controller, under the control of the Supreme Lord, is also being the, the fifth one, the karma, means activities. With all this information in the background, how what are the activities of the Supreme Lord? Are there any activities that are meant to be performed by the Supreme Lord? And are there any prescribed activities that are to be performed by the living entities? Which are right, which are not correct? All these topics are also discussed very beautifully by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So these all the 5 topics are discussed, and all at one place. If you have to see, these are the 5 topics where Ishvara, that is the Supreme Lord, Jiva, the living entity, and Prakriti, the material nature, and the Kala, the eternal time, and Karma, the activities to be performed. Now, if you see, out of these 5, each element, like Ishvara, has a connection with all other, and Jiva is also having connection with all other 4 elements for other topics, and Prakriti is having connection with all other 4. In that way, they are all interlinked, but the central pivot of all these topics is Ishvara, is the Supreme Lord, is the central theme of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, uh, in this particular course, which is Intricacies of Prakriti, we'll be focusing on the Prakriti element, which is material nature. In previous courses, the topics related to the Ishvara and the Jiva are to a great extent are covered. So in this entire course, across all the sessions, we'll be focusing on, the main focus is on the Prakriti, the material nature, and what is the role that Prakriti is playing in our lives, and how we are supposed to deal with it, and to achieve the real purpose of our life. So this is the overview of the course, the course 3, which is Intricacies of Prakriti, is going to is aimed at. Now, as we are starting this course for the first time, we asked the participants to choose whatever the course which is suitable for them, particularly for the initiated devotees. And for those who are not initiated, your respective KL guide would have suggested a particular specific course which is suitable to you according to your progress, where you stand in Krishna conscious journey. But the Krishna consciousness, which is also called Bhakti Yoga, I reiterated this point in many of the sessions. I would like to take the opportunity of today's session also to reiterate this point about what is this Krishna consciousness. At one point, yes, in the Science of Self-Realization book, there is a very wonderful conversation wherein Srila Prabhupada was questioned by one American reporter by the name Miss Nixon. She was very intelligent lady, and her first question to Srila Prabhupada was, what is Krishna consciousness? And Srila Prabhupada responded very wonderfully in 5 lines, telling that Krishna is Bhagavan, and as a Supreme Father, we all have an intimate relationship with him, but somehow we have forgotten. Now, those who attended my previous sessions, anyone would like to complete the statement which Prabhupada gave, what is Krishna consciousness, after these 2 statements? Anyone would like, please raise the hand so that I can ask. Some of you would have attended a couple of the sessions which I took at different places. I keep reiterating this point. Anyone would like to tell this? After these 2 lines, Prabhupada completed the answer to the question, what is Krishna consciousness, by telling 2 more lines. I know that some of you had attended this, some of you know about it. May please raise your hand if you know about it. Yes, please. Who is? I'm unable to see out of the 19. It is showing some raised hand, but who is raising the hand is I'm unable to see.
Yeah, Pallavi Woody and Sunidhi Radha Devidasi. 2 of them.
Yes. Yes, Sunidhi Mataji, you can. I'm giving you the chance. Please go ahead.
So Krishna consciousness means to know who is Lord Krishna, and second one is what is the relationship with him.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, anyone else? Who is that other one?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
What is the aim of life?
Yes. What is ultimate aim of life? What is the Prabhupada? Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Sunidhi Mataji, you also one part. You answered it nicely. So second part, what is my relationship with Krishna? So Srila Prabhupada continued saying that somehow we have forgotten our relationship with him. Those persons who try to find answers for the 2 questions, that what is the ultimate purpose of life and what is my relationship with Krishna, that person is said to be in Krishna consciousness. I repeat, a person is said to be in Krishna consciousness if he is constantly contemplating on 2 questions, that what is the ultimate purpose of my life and how to establish my relationship with Krishna. If these 2 questions are going on and one is contemplating on how to achieve answers to these 2 questions, that person is said to be in Krishna consciousness. And that's how Prabhupada answered. And Miss Nixon, the American reporter, was not having any further questions on this answer. She went on asking other questions. Further question would be, She asked how Krishna consciousness develops in a person. That is the next question. It may not be relevant in the today's session, but those who are interested can go to SSR, Science of Self-Realization book, and see the conversation. So coming back to the point of the ultimate purpose of the goal of the human form of life is to establish our relationship with Krishna, first of all to understand our relationship with Krishna, and then realize that relationship with Krishna by doing some activities pertaining to that relationship. So with the having understood, assuming that all of you would have got this understanding from the topics that are there in the first two courses. The course one, which is, what is the name of the course one? The Vedic knowledge and the science of soul. And the next one is second course is Karma Yoga. These two courses had covered this central point, giving clarity on this ultimate goal of life is, as the spiritual beings, we are supposed to revive our lost connection with the supreme spiritual being Krishna by performing the activities pertaining to that relationship. So that is the goal of the human form of life. Now, as part of if the members of this course, if understood that yes, this is the goal of the life, generally in the part of achieving the goal of the life, in any goal, either in the material world, our day-to-day life also, if you want to achieve some goal, there will be some hurdles in order to achieve the goal. Similarly, in the spiritual journey, in this Bhakti Yoga, Krishna conscious journey, also a practitioner or a sadhaka will be facing hurdles, many hurdles. And most of the hurdles are actually from within. We think that the hurdles are coming from outside, but actually most of the hurdles are from within. The picture which demonstrates here says that fighting with the demoniac natures within to revive our original divine nature, that is Krishna consciousness. So in the process of the Bhakti Yoga, having understood the goal of the human form of life, and the process of achieving that goal, every individual sadhaka has to fight with the demoniac natures, the wrong natures within every one of us to revive our original divine nature, because originally we are all divine in nature as a spiritual soul, because as the part and parcel of Krishna, the tiny divine entities. But because of our association with the Prakriti, the material nature, currently the divine nature has been covered up and prominently now coming up with the opposite qualities of the divine, which is the demoniac natures. So there is a constant fight if somebody wants to come back its divine nature, which gives us the true happiness, gives us the fulfillment, which gives us the clarity on the ultimate. So these are the symptoms of the divine nature. That means a person who is situated in divine nature, he is very clear about what is the ultimate purpose of life. He is very clear about what to do, what not to do. And he is very clear about how to attain the ultimate happiness or true happiness in life. These are the characteristics of a person situated in nature. Krishna in the 10th chapter, not 10th chapter, sorry, it is 16th chapter. There is a mistake here. It is in the 16th chapter, 21st verse. In the entire 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is titled as Divine and Demoniac Natures. In that, Lord Krishna says that all the living entities, jivas, out of the 5 topics, jiva topic, we are all belong to that category. Jivas belong to 2 categories in the material world, divine and demoniac. Now, but we generally we 1 minute. Yeah. Generally, the demoniac in our Puranas, I was telling in some other class that in the demoniac means in our Puranas and our scriptures, a person is having two horns on the head, having two teeth coming out of his mouth. Oh, that person is a demoniac person. That's what the visualization that comes to our mind. But in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes that it is not the external look that defines that a person is a demon or a divine. It is the internal consciousness that defines uh, a person belongs to a divine or demoniac, or in other words, a person predominantly situated in divine nature or predominantly situated in the demoniac nature. Because every one of us cannot be truly said that is completely demoniac, because every one of us, there are some portions of the divine nature, there are some portions of demoniac nature, both are existing. But person to person, based upon the way that he was brought up in his life, in his previous lives, in this life, how the association he got it, certain natures are becomes predominant. So that's why I said that in the Krishna conscious journey there is a fight, that if at all one wants to achieve the ultimate purpose of constant fight with the demoniac natures in order to bring out the divine nature within us. I'll share my screen once again. Where to see the presentation is, yes. Yes. So in the verse number 21, Lord Krishna says that Trividham narakasyedam dvarakam dvaram nashanamatmanah kamah krodas tatha lobah tasmadetattrayam tyajet. Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kamah krodas tatha lobah tasmadetattrayam tyajet. This is the verse where in the purport of this verse, Srila Prabhupada says that in this verse, Lord Krishna started telling that this is the beginning of the demoniac life. What are that? These are the three gates leading to this hell called lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give up these, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. I'll tell the context of this. Every sane man means one who is really interested about the uh, want to make his life perfect. That is the meaning of sane man. Sane man is that person who thinks that how to make my life perfect. If this question is there, uh, uh, then actually that person is a sane man. And one who is a sane man should give up these three characters called lust, anger, and greed. And the following verse in the same 16th chapter, 22nd verse, Krishna continues saying that एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम्. The meaning of this is that the man who has escaped these three gates of hell called lust, anger, and greed, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attain the supreme destination. Now, if you see, um, Here Lord Krishna is telling one who can escape from these three characters called lust, anger, and greed, that atmosphere becomes conducive to practice self-realization. Perform some activities conducive for self-realization. That means already in the first two courses, it is assumed that all of you are chanting the holy names of Krishna, doing japa every day. So these are the activities related to self-realization. This is chanting and reading and doing some service in the association of the Vaishnavas and taking prasadam every day, the food offered to Krishna. So, but if one will be able to continue steadily, will be able to do these devotional activities of chanting, reading, and uh, offering some service in the association of the devotees. If one gradually attempting or trying to escape from these three gates of hell, lust, anger, and greed. On the other hand, these three things, if are not checked in our life, they will check our progress in our Krishna consciousness. Now let us understand a little bit about a overview of these three characters practically, how these three characteristics can be understood, and first able to see the problem. Then once we are able to see the problem, then we'll try to work out on the solution. If we are unable to see the problem at all, then there is no point in looking at the solution. The step to look for solution will not arise at all. So in that, the first point, the lust means generally understanding of the lust in the outside world. As soon as we utter the word lust, means, oh, it is something between man and woman and having some physical relationship is called lust. That is the general understanding, the general usage of the word lust in the outside world. Much more accurate definition in our scriptures for the word lust is given in the way from the words of Prabhupada. We can see that lust means attachment to one's personal sense gratification. That means any thought or an action which gives me pleasure to our own self, our own senses, that thought or an action is called as a lusty thought or as a lusty action. So it is a much more broader definition of lust. I repeat again, attachment to the concept that some activity is going to give my senses happiness or gratify my senses, that very thought or an action is called a lusty thought or lusty action. Now I would like to ask a question to all of you here, that um, let me see the future of, or I think this breakout room is not required for this. I would like to ask here that what are the in our day-to-day life, how this small activities or thoughts can be categorized as the lusty thoughts or lusty actions. As I said, lust in the outside world, they confine it to only the relation between man and woman, but in a broader sense, any activity, any thought which you think that as it is going to give me happiness, my senses are all going to be very pleased by that activity, and that activity is called a lusty activity. So now with this understanding, broader understanding, can someone post it in the chat wherein you can present your views on in our day-to-day life, in your observation in others' life or in your personal life, how this tendency of this lust plays a role in that, so that whether I know that whether you understood the concept or not. So there is a message. watching cinemas, spending time on social media, watching television, feeling happy when someone is defeated. Okay. Yes, watching cinemas. Yes, definitely. Uh, we want some excitement. We want some story where we want our minds to get immersed into, where we take pleasure in story, and we take pleasure from that. Uh, Cooking for family. Yes, much more general. Yes, being on social media more than needed. Yes, more and more exciting information, visuals, videos from social media. Oversleeping. Yes, oversleeping is also yes. More than required. We feel more and more take rest. Body wants to have rest more than required. Yes, Nanda Kishore Prabhu here, craving to eat variety of food stuff even when not available as prasadam. Yes. Our tongue is the most powerful thing, so it is asking that more and more varieties of the food, even though it is not prasadam. Next is music parties, food craving, shopping for more than needed. Yes. Earning for luxurious life. Earning for luxurious life. Yes. Uh, there is a tendency to earn more and more so that I can live a luxurious life. Yes. Buying things which we think can give you more comforts. Yes. Desiring to travel to exotic locations. Yes. We want to see new places. We want to see the world around us. We want a variety. We always don't want to confine ourselves to the one house, one particular place only. We always wants to see. Yes, next one more question is Prabhu, even when we know all this, why, sorry, yes, why can we not stop? Yes, I'll come to that point. I'll come to that point. Ashwin, feeling proud of oneself when we have achieved something. Pride. Some people, uh, first of all, we don't, yes, one way is we feel proud ourselves, but someone comes and praises you that, yes, oh, you did very good thing. What a wonderful thing you achieved. Oh, you did. Oh, then, oh, we went to the ninth cloud. Then we'll feel very happy that, oh, somebody is praising me that. It gives me happiness. Yes, good. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Yes, all these are all the different degrees of uh, uh, and why it is said that it is an obstacle for our self-realization, because as long as this tendency of only me as the center and the world is created around us and I am the center of the world, then as long as that tendency or that consciousness is there in us, actually one cannot progress in the path of self-realization, that is to establish our lost relationship with Krishna. So that's why this tendency has to be checked first. So what is the meaning of tendency of checking this tendency? I'll come 1 minute. Yes. I'm sharing the screen again. Yes. So a serious person who is very serious about uh, progress in bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness, one of the important quality that person should be having is called introspection. introspection means checking one's current reality, where he's standing. And this quality is a very important quality, and one should be brave enough to do this introspection. That where am I really standing in my life currently, or in my Krishna conscious journey currently? So this is an important question to be asked. And related to this enjoyment, taking attachment to the personal sense gratification, the little more flavor to this question is that where am I taking pleasure in every situation, not only in general, moment to moment. Like somebody comes and praises you, then you feel very happy. Then immediately we respond, we introspect, asking to ourselves that where am I taking pleasure in my life? I understood from authoritative sources by my spiritual master that I'm supposed to take pleasure only in the activities related to Krishna as his humble servant. So all other sources I'm not supposed to take pleasure in. So when we ask this question to ourselves, Krishna will throw light on this. Oh, this is the place where you are taking pleasure, you are that. So this is the first step. It is not a solution I'm telling. As I said, the step one is first able to see the problem. I'll come to the solution, as some of you are very eager to know the solution. And then this has a lot of flavors. This lust is all pervaded in every nook and corner of our day-to-day life, in our professional life, in our personal life also. As some of you have already mentioned it, earning for luxurious lifestyle to have, we want to earning, craving for earning more and more to have a luxurious life. And tongue satisfaction, want to eat varieties of the foods. And like this, there are, it extends from our own self called this body to keep the body more and more comfortable to even to extended self to our own family members. So now some of you may be asking that is it wrong to think that for the good and benefit of all our family members? No, that is not what this is meant. We are coming to the solution how to look at this particular point in a proper manner. We'll come to that. Now, by Krishna's grace, everyone, whenever they get the desire in the form of satisfying one's self, they'll get some result. They'll get some benefit. They'll get an opportunity to satisfy the desire. The problem with that is it never stops. After we are satisfied what we got, it is not that the thought will go away from our mind. It wants more and more. It wants more and more. And that is called greed. So greed means it is never satisfies the activity that what we perform in order to satisfy our desires. Once we get it and we are not satisfied with that, we want more and more. We want more and more. And it goes on in a way that it never gets satisfied, how much ever we may get it. It applies to in our earnings in our life. Even though we may earn some amount, once we reach to that point, if we are not Krishna conscious, process is not there in the background, we want not happy, we want more, we want more, we want more and more, like that. So how this goes into a vicious cycle is a nice video is there over here, and I would like to share this video with you. How even one gets satisfied with something after pursuing out of greed, how it gets locked up in a vicious cycle is what this video shows. Please watch this video.
Prabhu, sound is not coming.
Hare Krishna.
One
Prabhu.
minute. Oh, sound is not coming. Are you able to hear, all of you?
We can hear you, but not the video.
No,
Acha, not the video. So I think I should change. Um, 1 minute. What should I do here? Share the screen, and in that computer audio, some options are there here.
Prabhu, since you have been wearing a headphone, so it will by default mute the external sounds.
Oh, okay.
So only your sound will be recognized.
So how to now change it stand out side by side? I should disconnect my headphones.
Maybe you need to select the speaker to your system speaker, not the headphone.
Okay. Okay.
Then you
Right.
play the
I'll
video.
disconnect. Are you able to hear now?
no, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhu.
No problem.
Oh, wait, sorry. There is some audio option must be there here. Include computer sound. Yes, it is there. I did not enable it. Okay, now it is there. Now it will come. Are you able to hear now? You must be able to hear now.
No, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
No? Still not able to hear.
No, Prabhu.
No, one. No.
Yes, Prabhu. Now we are able to hear.
Now able to hear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, right.
No, now again we are not able to. A little brief we were able to hear. Now nothing again, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sound is not required. Prabhu, I've seen this video before, so we'll be able to understand without the sound also. It's quite self-explanatory, I think.
No, no, sound is very little interesting.
Okay, Prabhu.
It is interesting to have the sound. How to do
Prabhu,
that?
I just shared this video link on the chat, so maybe everybody can watch on their own, and then we can continue.
Now,
Just
one it is coming now. Just see that now. Now?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Now we are able to see.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, good. So we see in this video that anyone would like to share what is the understanding from this video?
Yes, Prabhu, like material life is just like a black hole, and you can, whatever you want out of your lust, you just go inside, and that guy is not able to get out once he sinks in deeper into the attractions. So he's just stuck there.
Yeah. Particularly he got something, he was not happy with it and he wanted to more and more. And that tendency to want not to be happy with what he has got has brought trouble in his life, and that quality called greed, and he lost the everything. He lost happiness, he lost peacefulness, peace of mind, because he was not happy with what he got and he wanted more and more, and he entered into the very black hole, and then finally the paper fell down and he is unable to come out now. He was unable to come out. So uh, uh, so this is the quality of the greed. Uh, so this is the second quality. Then third one, which Lord Krishna is telling, is called anger. I'll share the screen again. Anger is the third quality which Lord Krishna mentioned in this verse. And the reason for getting anger, we become angry, is something related to with the previous two things: lust, greed, and anger. And anger comes when sometimes when our desires gets fulfilled, we'll be happy. And most of the times when our expectations are not met, and we exhibit that frustration and response in the form of an anger, the mood of anger. That is the main reason for uh, that most of the people become angry, is that when their desires are not fulfilled. Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita explains that it is the lust or kama which is the root cause of anger. So if anybody is becoming angry, or if you are becoming angry, you need to reflect it that it is what is the desire of mine which is not fulfilled. Now when I say desire, sometimes the desire has a different flavors. Something, our ego is not satisfied, somebody did not respect me in the way that I want, so I become angry. Why you're not respecting me about it? So you see that the if you ask this question, that why, if you ask introspect, become angry, when we introspect and ask this question to ourselves, that what exactly caused me anger, brought to become angry, then the Krishna will throw the light. Yes, this is the where your attempt to become happy in your life is being defeated. Your expectation of gratifying your ego or senses or mind or intelligence is being defeated by and this activity. That's why you became angry. So um, when our attempts to enjoy or gratify our senses is frustrated or endangered, we become angry. This is the cause for our anger. And if we don't check this, and actually the mood of anger will poison the entire conscience. We don't know what words come out of our mouth, our way of thinking becomes polluted, everything becomes polluted. Even chemicals which gets generated by the anger mood is also causes uh, illness. So even materially and psychologically, everywhere this mood of anger brings uh, unhappiness in one's life. Frustration is also a mild form of anger. For example, you see this another video which I'm going to show you after this slide, and why we become frustrated. Being treated unjustly, being treated rudely, being insulted, being frustrated in pursuing an important goal, and being neglected. You see everything, being treated unjustly. See, did not get the justice, required justice. Is not a fair treatment. I was not treated fairly, and somebody treated me in a rude manner. Somebody insulted me. So these are all the things. Is a natural emotion, emotional response to these symbolic threats. Anger is a natural emotional response to these symbolic threats. So every one of us can reflect back in different instances where we become angry. These are the different, some of the majority of the instances. You see that some of the typical work environment, sometimes how certain things, if doesn't go in our favor, how we let out our anger in frustration. So when things don't go in our favor, uh, or things don't go in the way that we expected, uh, immediately we go out of control, and we exhibit this emotional feeling called anger. So if somebody is really want to uh, progress in self-realization, one has to check these three things: lust, anger, and greed. If one is really serious about reaching the supreme destination, which is to establish one's relationship with Krishna. So how to do that? From the first two courses, I'm assuming that all of you are aware of this understanding that around the real I, there are four other true false selves are surrounded. Our true self is surrounded by four false selves. That is Mr. Body, Mr. Mind, Intelligence, Mr. Intelligence, and Mr. False Ego. And Mr. Self, the real I, is surrounded by that. And our present situation in our life, in our present, the way that we are situated as a jiva, living entity in this material world, Lord Krishna explains that our present personality is can be organized in the form of an hierarchy. This is called hierarchy of self-management in the Bhagavad Gita, as Lord Krishna explains that. What is that? Just like in a company, how the boss is sitting at the top and all other people are under his control, and as per his direction, the rest of the whole company works. It's called a pyramid shape. That is the general picture of any organization where multiple personalities are coming together and working together. There must be some real boss should be there at the top. So the very personality called in this body, the very hierarchy is mentioned in this particular visual manner as mentioned by Lord Krishna. The real I, the self, spirit soul is sitting on the top, and the other personalities, 4 different sitting inside. Other than the spirit soul, there are 4 personalities are sitting inside. They are also called self. That's why it Mr. Body, Mr. Mind, Mr. Intelligence, and Mr. Ego. And above that is the true I, which is different from all these 4. This understanding is, I assume that all of you would have thoroughly got it from the previous 2 courses, the subject matter from the 2 courses. And this is corroborated by Lord Krishna's statement in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 3rd chapter, Lord Krishna explains this concept that Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. The working senses, body, is superior to dull matter. Mind is still higher than the body, and intelligence is still higher than the mind, and the soul is even higher than the intelligence. This hierarchy is explained personally by Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Ishvara, who is the creator. He is giving this understanding to us. So in that, as I mentioned, the real I is the pure spirit soul, and the other 4 belongs to Prakriti, the material nature. And the real I is surrounded by these 4, and an incompatible situation arises. What is the meaning of incompatible? Incompatible means just like you put oil in water. Oil and water are 2 incompatible substances. Even though you put one inside the other, water is separately stays and oil and water doesn't mix together. Similarly, the spirit soul, the real I, is of the spiritual in nature, which is eternal and changeless. And the other aspects of the body, called body, mind, intelligence, and our false ego, are of a different matter, substance altogether, which are of temporary and continuously changing. So in this, that is why it is called incompatible. There is no compatibility, and that's why the individual eyes feel suffocated because of this incompatible situation. The same picture of this hierarchy is mentioned in this picture called the chariot example, which in our scriptures gives this example, how our present circumstance is picturized in this particular example. Anyone can tell, anyone who knows already, some of you must be knowing this. I would like to know through the thing, to post the thing, what are these 5 horses represent? What is this driver who is driving the chariot represents? What is this whole picture is all about? Different aspects, different elements of this picture represent what aspect of our personality? You can please post the things in the message chat window. Oh, again, no sound. Previously could not hear the sound. Sorry. I'm extremely sorry for that. Yes, horses, senses. Horses are represented. Horses are representing senses. Horses represent five senses, and chariot represents mind. Soul sitting on chariot. And Pallavi Mataji is telling charioteer is mind. And Chandrabhanu Chaitanya is telling Chandrasekhar Vaishnav, horses, five knowledge acquiring senses. Intelligence is a chariot driver, using the rope representing mind to control the senses. Soul is the passenger sitting on the chariot. Okay. Now question to all of you is, yes. Okay. Now chariot is entire body. That is the very title of this is chariot of the body. The chariot, the five horses represent five senses, and the rope represents, the ropes controlling the five horses represents the mind. That's what in the hierarchy, if you see the senses, above the senses sitting, immediate boss of the senses is mind, and the boss for the mind, here it is the driver, it is intelligence, and above the intelligence sitting is the actual the soul, the real person, and he's sitting and observing the whole journey. So if we have to have a very peaceful journey, if we want to have a peaceful journey, what is the most important aspect that is required? If the journey has to be peaceful and happy, what is the most important element that is required in this whole setup? Now the question again to audience. Control the senses, horses in control, intelligence and soul must be aligned. Now still more fundamental. Yes, I think those who know about this, they are answering, yes, horses senses should be under control. Much more fundamental element. Tarini Mataji is telling the charioteer and horses must be good. What is a good means? Yes, Ramya Mataji is telling destination. Yes, here is the point comes. Actually, if the whole journey has to be good, first we should decide where this journey is going in, what is the destination this chariot is supposed to reach. The destination has to be fixed in the journey first. If any journey has to be successful, that first is the destination has to be fixed. Similarly, in our entire ecosystem of this body, if we want to deal with these different aspects of our personality properly, the first and foremost important element to bring in clarity is that what the destination I'm supposed to reach with this body, with this facility that I have got. That is the first and foremost important aspect of, that's why I said in the beginning, the goal has to be fixed first. When I say fixed means it is not a subjective in our mind. Okay, now I know about the goal. What is the goal is to revive my relationship with Krishna. No, knowing is different and getting convinced about it is different. It is just like if I have to get a seat in a good college, I want to get a job in my life, good job in my life, I need to first of all get a seat in a very premium college like IIT or NITs. This knowledge is knowing is okay, but how one is convinced and determined about that goal, convinced about it, that goal is what is the next important point, is also most important. Similarly, just by understanding that establishing our relationship with Krishna is the goal of life is not sufficient. How strongly we are convinced about it from all angles of vision is also the most important element in driving, in using all our resources that we have got in order to achieve that goal. So with this understanding, this is the that's why Krishna says here that as a solution, Krishna only gives the solution. In the 3.42, we saw that this is the way that things are organized in our body. Then Krishna is telling the solution that if at all one wants to have a peaceful journey, he says that evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam jahishatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to material mind and intelligence, one should control the lower self by the higher self, and thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So Krishna is telling you must conquer this, because if you don't conquer this, it will not make you peaceful. It will not let you live a peaceful life and happy life. If you want to lead a very happy and peaceful life and meaningful life and joyful life, you must conquer this enemy. And how to conquer this enemy? You must know how to control the lower self with the higher self. What is the meaning of lower self and higher self? In the pyramid that is shown over there, each and every element in that pyramid is a self. When I say self means it is a personality who is talking within you. That means body is talking, the senses are talking to you. Like some of you have told, my tongue is asking varieties of food. That means the tongue is talking to you that oh, why don't you eat this one? It is very tasty to your tongue. Why don't you watch this? It will be very nice, exciting thing to watch. And our mind is telling, why don't you develop relation with somebody like this? That means each of these selves are talking to you, and you are all hearing as a self, as a spirit soul. You are all hearing. You are hearing, and you are getting influenced by their talk. So here Krishna is telling, no, you are supposed to be the most supreme, powerful person sitting in the hierarchy, and you are supposed to be very strong. But because of your weak position, now you are both in front of these other four selves, lower selves, called body, mind, intelligence, and false ego. If at all you want to conquer this, you need to equip yourself again with the spiritual strength. And with that strength, you will be able to control the lower selves. So that particular aspect of how to strengthen the higher self is the art of Krishna consciousness. For example, currently we take the previous hierarchy, we will go to the hierarchy again. This yes point, yeah. In this hierarchy, as I mentioned, each ego, the false ego, if currently our ego, and these are the different identities we identify with. If the strengthening ego means we need to strengthen the true ego of being servant of Krishna. This has to be strengthened. How it can be strengthened? It can be strengthened by properly reading Srila Prabhupada's books and understand that yes, we are throughout our life we have been servants only. We are serving our own body, our own desires. We are serving our family members, we are serving our society, I was serving my boss in the company. Everywhere my role is a servant only, but no service is giving me happiness. So here, by hearing from a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, I am understanding that the real pleasure is, the real happiness lies in connecting my service tendency to the supreme source of happiness, which is Krishna. In that way, if we understand, by serving Krishna, all other entities are nicely served. My family is also nicely taken care of. Through Krishna, you have to serve them. Through Krishna, I need to serve my family, I need to serve my body, I need to serve my mind. Then how to do that service? If I have to serve my body, that means it requires food time to time. So serving the body through Krishna means giving Krishna prasadam to my body, which is nourishing the whole body physically and also spiritually. And serving my mind through Krishna means, yes, mind wants some relationship always. And uh, uh, so through Krishna, serving the mind means we need to develop relationship with Krishna's devotees. Instead of developing relation with some people who can take me away from Krishna, I need to develop some friendship with the fellow devotees. I need to develop relation, discuss with them, talk to them, invite them to my home, and serve them nice prasadam to them. In that way, build relationship with the other devotees who are following it. In that way, mind is fed with uh, uh, through Krishna, you serve the mind. Similarly, serving the intelligence means serving. Uh, uh, we want intellectually understand the things. What are the things that are happening in this world? We need to serve the intelligence through Krishna. Means let us understand Krishna's viewpoint of how this world is working. So then we use our intelligence to understand it. Then our intelligence gets satisfied. Oh, from Krishna I understood that this is how the material world works. This is how the elements are working. This is how our behaviors, we see people of different behaviors in this world. So when our intelligence is satisfied by hearing from Krishna. So if we take care of all these elements through Krishna, then actually you're situated in a proper position as the real master. So more elaborately, this concept is going to be more elaborated in the coming up other sessions of this course. But this is the central theme of how these three qualities of lust, greed, and anger are going to spoil, are going to check our progress of this spiritual journey. And what is the need that if at all if we want to really progress in our Krishna consciousness, we need to check these things with the help of the spiritual master and Krishna, Guru and Krishna. So that art of how to control it, session after this session, in each session we are going to actually present it. This is the overview of this particular topic, the gateway to hell, through these three qualities of lust, greed, and anger. So now I would like to throw the floor for any questions that what you want to ask based on this, what we discussed. Now, instead of posting the question, question is posted already here. Even I would like to ask, if you don't takes time to present it, it is good to type it so that you also will be very clear about the question. But if you cannot, you can directly ask also the speaker phone. You can enable the thing. Now the first question is from Namita Mataji. Is the question one: does fear come from lust? Difference between self-awareness and self-realization. What is meant by conditioned soul? Soul is pure and knows its position. Okay. I think three questions are asked here. The question one: does fear come from lust? Fear. Fear comes from when our position is threatened. Is called self-defense. Out of the four activities of all species of life, bhaya means defense, defending. What will happen in my old age? Who will be there to take care of me? What will happen if I lose my job? What if I don't get promotion in my life in the next coming year? So when your position is getting threatened, that comes fear comes. So when the lust means a desire to enjoy this place, this world in different ways, and when that is not happening, then one of the side effect of emotion is, along with anger, one more comes is the fear also is an element. Yes. As anyone else would like to ask the question, before coming to the second part of the question, I would like to take the question from each devotee, one question, so that everyone will get a chance. Anyone else would like to ask a question? Here is one more question from Chandrasekhar Vaishnav. Many times I feel that I am trying to follow KC also for my sense gratification and not for Lord's pleasure. Is this also lust? Question 2. We know that lust is there in me. How to get rid of the same? Okay. The first one is very interesting. A very deep question. That I'm trying to follow KC also for my sense gratification and not for Lord's pleasure. Is this also lust? No, as the beginner, yes, we all, most of us, when you reflect how you all came in touch with Krishna consciousness, some of the devotees would have invited you to the temple, would have come to the temple and saw wonderful kirtans which gave pleasure to your ears, and you would have taken nice prasadam that devotees would have served you in the temple, and it has been very tasty prasadam, and that made you to come again and again to the temple and experiencing these things, and that have become an is okay, let me go and hear those wonderful melodious kirtans that are happening in the temple. Let me go to the temple to taste very delicious Krishna prasadam that is available. That and this way of getting impetus to associate or practice Krishna consciousness for one's own pleasure to our senses, different aspects of our personality, is nothing wrong, is not a sin. Rather, it is a beginning step of a devotee or as a conditioned soul trying to come back to the Lord again. Is some way or the other getting connected to the Lord and feeling happiness from that. Is taking happiness from that. Is absolutely correct. But as the devotee progresses gradually, a time will come where when he advances more and more, the purpose of he visiting the temple is rather uh, 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 me getting happiness of hearing melodious kirtans, is that I'm getting a chance to go and sing the glories of the Lord in the temple, so that the Lord may be pleased by looking at me, by glorifying his names. Let me go to the temple to honor prasadam in the association of the devotees, not only because that my senses and my tongue is getting satisfied, but my spiritual master and Krishna will be very happy seeing me, that I am sitting with other devotees and eating along with them, and then seeing the Vaishnava Sangha devotee association, they feel very happy. So, but this advanced thinking will not come for the beginners. It will come gradually, naturally, when we hear and do some service. Gradually, it will come in later stages. 1 minute, please. Okay. Yeah, I'll answer the second question some other time. If no one has having any questions, then I'll take up next question. Next is from PS Ashwin. How to evade a bad habit that you are associated to from childhood, or try to improve, or try to improve. Sorry, I could not.
Or try to improve actually. Or how do I try to improve in this space, Prabhu? That's
Okay. Yeah, changing the habit is a very difficult thing, but it is not impossible thing, because our process of Krishna consciousness is very powerful to change it. As I said, uh, two things are required. Number one, first, developing conviction on the ultimate purpose of life, developing strong conviction. I don't say, you should know that knowing and convinced is two different things. Knowing about the goal of life is different. Getting convinced about the goal of life is different. So first step is thoroughly convinced about the purpose of life. Next, two, in the process of achieving that purpose of life, ultimate purpose of life, the hurdles, we need to conquer it with the help of the devotee Sangha. Srila Prabhupada has created this wonderful association of the devotees, of temples, temple devotees, and congregation devotees practicing it. And with the help of this wonderful setup that Srila Prabhupada created, we can gradually get rid of the undesirable habits with the help of the Sangha, devotee Sangha. So gradually this Krishna Life department would be aiming at creating this kind of framework where the members of this Krishna Life department take help of each other in the association and get rid of the habits, bad habits that we have got uh, from our childhood because of different associations. And it is possible by this devotee Sangha and by the grace of the Lord, and getting convinced about the goal of life. So first is getting convinced about the purpose of Krishna consciousness, then taking the help of the Lord and his devotees. By taking the help of the Lord, by chanting, the ardently praying to the Lord, my Lord, these are the things that are going on in my heart. I want to get rid of these things. So please give me the strength and give the help of your devotees, so that one day I will come where I will be able to get rid of this. This is the ardent prayer. That is the purpose of the chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, is that. Okay. So hope this answered your question, Ashwin.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes. Next, last one is sometimes when we are hurt and want to get sympathetic words from someone, but we do not get it in the in that time, do we become disturbed? Is this also lust as this? Can you please explain this a little bit?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Like sometimes what happens is sometimes we get hurt by some things, and internally we know that this doesn't matter actually, and we can ignore these things. But sometimes the intelligence dominates, and it will provoke you to think in a different way. So it will expect some sympathetic words from somebody externally, maybe somebody who's close to you. Okay, this is fine, or yeah, it's okay, it's happened to you. Some, like, as a
Okay.
human tendency, we try to we expect all that. So that is also a kind of lust, is it, Prabhu? Or how can, or is it like how, or if it is lust, then how can we get out of this type of thing?
Okay. Um, yeah, interesting question. Let me reflect. Some things happened in my own life. It is a general it is a general tendency that when we are when we are in difficulty, it is a general tendency to take shelter of some other situation. Either it can be a person or it can be another situation. Suppose, let us say, I becoming very frustrated with my office throughout the day. I spent my time in the office and I got fed up. My mind is fully got frustrated, and now when I come back to home, I want to feel little relaxed, and then want to sit in front of the TV and watch something exciting thing, and then go on eating while watching it. So you want to avoid that and took shelter of this alternate solution. So similarly, we keep taking this kind of general tendency of every jiva is to take shelter of some situation or some person when that particular jiva is in difficult situation, facing some difficulties from nature or from the people around. Now our Krishna consciousness says that yes, that is natural tendency to take shelter. Now, as our spiritual beings, our constitutional position is to take shelter of, for any difficult situation, any situation in this world, with the understanding that my Supreme Lord Krishna is the supreme controller. Under his jurisdiction only this situation I am facing in my life. He is very well aware of that I am facing this situation. Now, if at all I want to be away from this or want to avoid this kind of situation, I need to go back to him and take his shelter only. I need to take solution from him only, because any other solution, it may be temporary and it gives only temporary relaxation. In fact, it may gives rise to another problem. So this understanding we get from Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that don't try to go for immediate solutions, rather you go for long-term solution. So similarly, here in your case, what you asked for, when you feel often get hurt, we need to look at Lord solution given in Bhagavad Gita. This is the way we need to think. Our way of thinking should be, when I face some problem in my life, I have two options: whether I should listen to my mind or whether I should listen to my spiritual words of Guru and Krishna. I should take solution from there, or I should take solution from my own mind, which is limited with my own experiences in my limited life journey in this life. So when we keep taking direction from Guru and Krishna, then we get a good intelligence how to take shelter and how to avoid, how to come out of it very bravely and successfully, all the difficult situations in our life. So looking at that kind of thing, I cannot say it is a lust. Rather, it is a general tendency of every jiva to take shelter of something. But out of ignorance, we are taking shelter of some other means to get rid of those uncomfortable situations. A sane man, one who is in Krishna consciousness, will intelligently ask that what Krishna would give me the solution in this kind of circumstance. What is the solution given by my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, who is a pure devotee of Krishna, who is representing Krishna? What solution they are giving? Let me hear from that solution. That would be the interesting way of looking at the situation what you are facing. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So I think we have exceeded the time. Today we are exceeding the time to little more because introduction took little time. That's why I took the liberty to take the session till 8:20 now. So, but next time onwards we'll be closing sharp 8 o'clock. I have not covered the topic one more of Achar. That's every course has got two elements called Achar and Tattva. The Tattva topic we covered it. Achar topic representing Srila Prabhupada is the topic under the Achar segment in this course 3. I hope you know about that. This is the whole course structure. In that today we covered this one element under Achar. Achar means practical. How our behavior, day-to-day behavior should change. In that, the first one is representing Srila Prabhupada is the topic under Achar. Today we are not covering. In the next session, I will try to cover both the things. both representing Srila Prabhupada as well as interaction with Vaishnavas, with other devotees, how to interact. That also we'll be covering it in the Achar section, next time. So with this, we can conclude the today's session, and we will try to create a platform wherein we will try to share the recorded session as well as try to take some questions, what you are getting it, what you may get from this session, and try to find a platform wherein we can answer even outside this offline session or online session. We'll try to find a way to answer your queries. So hope this is fine with all of you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Can we email our questions, Prabhu, or put them in the forum? Conversation.
We'll come back to you. As of now, we have not come out with any specific concrete solution. What is the platform wherein you can present your queries, so that throughout the week till the next online session comes, we can keep interacting with you and then keep clarifying those doubts.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, can I just take 30 seconds?
You want to take little more time?
30 seconds only. This is in reference to what answer you gave Mataji about taking the solution from Guru and Krishna and depending on him and not on other temporary situations or something. But there is a confusion in my mind because
Guru and Krishna is the last.
Yes. So my confusion is that I should just accept the situation. I don't want to ask Krishna for such mundane things. So I should just accept the solution, or is it?
No. You should ask for a solution. Every problem, material problem, has got a spiritual solution. See, when you take a solution from Krishna, that solution, it may not be, you may not be in a position to understand that particular point in time, but you have to simply accept the solution from Krishna. Later, but you will realize that, that what solution Lord Krishna and my Guru, spiritual master Srila Prabhupada are giving are very apt for me, which are transcendental solutions, which are permanent solution, temporary makeshift arrangement.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So with this, we'll close the thing. So thank you very much. And next session will be much more organized, and we'll try to bring in more interaction. As this is the first session, we are also learning from this Microsoft Team platform point of view.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, one and all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.